The holding cell on Station Zirion 9 was designed to break even the toughest species in the galaxy. Temperature fluctuations that would freeze a Krellian or boil a Vorthan. Gravity shifts that could crush bone or leave prisoners floating helplessly. The Galactic Empire's interrogators took pride in their work. Marcus Chin sat cross-legged on the floor, eyes closed, breathing steady. The guards had stripped him of his uniform, leaving him in standard prisoner grays. They'd laughed when they'd processed him, another human mercenary caught in the wrong sector. The Empire's database showed humans as a minor species, barely spacefaring, known mainly for their endurance hunting and pack bonding. They had no idea what a Navy SEAL was. Prisoner 4429, the intercom crackled. Prepare for interrogation. Marcus opened his eyes, a slight smile playing at his lips. 3 days they kept him here. 3 days of what they considered torture. The temperature swings were nothing compared to Hell Week. The gravity shifts? Child's play after training in variable G chambers. The sensory deprivation reminded him of long nights in the Afghan mountains waiting for the perfect shot. The door hissed open. Commander Zelric entered, his 4 arms folded in what his species considered an intimidating pose. Behind him, 2 enforcement troopers aimed plasma rifles at Marcus. Human, Zelric sneered, his mandibles clicking. You were caught transmitting classified Imperial codes. Tell us who you work for. Marcus stood slowly, hands visible. I'm just a soldier, sir. Following orders. Whose orders? Zelric stepped closer, all 7 feet of him looming over the human. The Resistance? The Free Worlds? Talk and we might spare your primitive planet from annexation. That was their first mistake, threatening Earth. Marcus's expression didn't change, but something shifted in his eyes. Zelric had seen fear in 1,000 species. This wasn't fear. This was calculation. You know, Marcus said conversationally, where I come from, we have a saying. The only easy day was yesterday. Zelric's translator struggled with the idiom. What does E? Marcus moved. To the Empire's military, humans were slow. Their database showed human reaction times, their muscle density, their limitations. But their database was built on civilians, scientists, diplomats. Not operators. Not SEALs. Marcus's hand shot out, fingers striking precise nerve clusters along Zelric's primary arm. The commander's weapon clattered to the floor. Before the guards could react, Marcus had rolled behind Zelric, using the commander's bulk as a shield. The plasma bolts meant for Marcus burned through their own commander. Marcus was already moving, the fallen weapon in his hands. 2 shots. 2 guards down. 17 seconds. Alarms blared as Marcus stepped over the bodies. He'd memorized the station layout during his torture sessions, counting steps, listening to echo patterns, building a mental map. His captor's second mistake, underestimating human pattern recognition. He moved through the station like a ghost. When patrols came, he eliminated them. When he needed access codes, he extracted them. The Empire had never faced a human special operator. They didn't understand persistence hunting applied to combat, how a human could maintain peak performance for hours, days if needed. How they could ignore pain, push through exhaustion, adapt to any environment. By the time Marcus reached the communication center, he'd left 37 Imperial soldiers incapacitated or dead. He uploaded his real mission data, the Empire's fleet positions, their supply lines, their weaknesses to Earth Command. As reinforcements flooded the station, Marcus activated his beacon. The Empire thought they'd captured a lone soldier. They didn't know about the cloaked human warship waiting just beyond sensor range. They didn't know this was a rescue mission. Not for Marcus, but for the intelligence he'd gathered. The extraction took 4 minutes. By then, half the station was in chaos. Later, in the debriefing, they asked Marcus about his time in custody. Good training opportunity, he said simply. Their interrogation techniques need work. The Galactic Empire would learn to fear humans. Not for their technology or their numbers, but for soldiers like Marcus Chin. For the ones who could turn capture into victory, who saw torture as training, who brought war to an art form the galaxy had never imagined. They thought they'd arrested a human soldier. They'd caged a SEAL.